Welcome to Rifleonline. I'm Sean.
I'm Jet.
We're going to talk a little bit about Jet's guitars. We use a lot of guitars to record in Rifle, like having a lot of choices.
Let's start with my very first guitar. Well, let's say my very first quote-unquote real electric guitar. This is a silver, believe it or not. When I bought it new,
It was
silver. No, it was made in June of '83. So I bought it 83, 84, depending on when I went to the music store and bought this. I fell in love with it when I saw it in the store, played it a few times, and finally went back and did a layaway sort of purchase. Didn't take too long. It wasn't that expensive. $300 or $400 back then.
That was a lot for back then, though.
It was
especially for us, we were kids.
Yeah, I was just a kid, just out of high school, and it was a fair amount of money for a guitar, but it's a beautiful bolt-on maple neck on what is probably a mahogany body, almost certainly, judging from what I've read.
Looks like it on the inside.
Looks like it on the
mahogany
inside. And it's just a single pickup, tone and volume control.
And we did replace the original Bill Lawrence pickup with this is a GFS pickup that is it's an overwound pickup.
It's a little bit overwound from the pickup that was in it originally.
Right, which just really it goes well with this guitar. It makes it scream. And my personal thoughts are this bridge. Man, there's so much definition with this guitar. I love this wraparound bridge. And it's fully adjustable too, so it's really easy to intonate.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this guitar.
I love it too. I've been playing it for decades, and
this has been your number one most of your life.
For the first 2/3 of my career, this was my number one, my preferred guitar for everything from the heavy metal and punky hardcore bands that I was in to even the an occasional one-off show where we were playing just, top 40 or whatever.
Right.
And it has been through a lot. It is dinged up and scratched, and it's got a ding on the fretboard there on the headstock.
I did just do some fret work on this, which we did a video too.
You should have already seen that video. It should be out already.
And if not, please go back and watch it.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Listen to Rifle every day, all that good stuff too.
But yeah, I love this guitar. My guitar tech takes really good care of it for me.
It's all factory other than the pickup, and I think I replaced the jack. Maybe not. I don't remember. But I don't remember. And of course, I had to do recent fret work, but that, to my knowledge, that's the first fret work that it ever had done.
What you did to it was the very first time these frets have ever been touched.
Yeah, so they were considering in incredible shape. This thing has just sounded and played great ever since I've known it, which was ever since you got it.
I love it.
This is one of Jet's Futuras, which is basically a Corvus. They're the same body, but these are one piece. I mean, not neck through. They are literally one piece. And I believe this one is all maple.
Could be.
It looks like maple on the inside.
Yep.
It's definitely hardwood.
And it's basically the only difference between a Corvus and a Futura is truss rod cover. It says Futura on it.
Right. And the bolt-on neck. Yeah. The Corvus is a bolt-on neck, and these are, like I say, one piece. Now this one is an 83.
83. This one's also made in '83 in Nashville. It also has had new pickups put in it.
Yeah. Again, we just like the overwound PAFs. We're all passive, but these are probably, I think this is like a 15 K in the back and around a 9.5, I think, in the rhythm, and it really, this guitar sounds wonderful, and it plays very similar to the Corvus, the silver Corvus. Yeah. I mean, as far as playability, they're almost identical if you had your eyes closed.
Yeah, for several years, this was had moved up into my number one spot and traveled with me around a lot when I was in another band. And you can see there's checking on the paint just vertical lines right down here and right down here, where it's been exposed to so many different
It used to be
environments.
white.
It used to be white. Now it's sort of a bone yellow.
Yeah.
But,
And of course, this has been on, all these guitars have been on Rifle songs. This has been on quite a few.
Yep.
And of course, we played a lot of shows. Jet has played it at a lot of, in a lot of our shows for a lot of years, let alone everything else. But I've found the two pickup versions to be very versatile.
Mm-hmm.
When you go clean with them, they have a wonderful clean tone, which for a guitar shaped like this is unusual. You just expect it to scream all the time, and it does. It screams appropriately.
It
That's
screams,
not what
but
I mean.
it also cleans up and can be a very subtle instrument, because it's. I know in the modern era, there's been a lot of sort of controversy about the quality that Gibson puts out.
Especially the 80s,
in the
80s Gibsons, yeah.
And even into the 2000s. I haven't played any recently though, so I don't know if they've improved or not. But back when this was made, I've never played a bad Gibson from that era.
No, I agree. I like the Nolan era Gibsons myself a lot too. I know that all of these are excellent quality, and coming from the person that has to do all the work when they break, they really are. And now a lot of recent Gibsons that people bring me to set up outside of this, I do not find great quality. Quality control. Anyway, they need more work than they should for the price.
Right.
But this is not. I mean, man, this guitar played great, and so did the Corvus. I mean, from the beginning, without anyone doing anything to it.
And this one,
this is the newest one.
The newest
right?
one,
84,
85. This one was made in 85.
So this would have been probably the last year that they made them. I
Probably,
would think.
Yeah.
It seems like they quit 84, 85. Well, obviously, 85.
Yeah. And this one, Corvus, Futura, who knows? Doesn't say anything on the truss rod cover.
Right. We assume it's a Futura because it's a one piece.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
And it doesn't say when we looked up the number. It just says when it was made. These are the original Bill Lawrence pickups.
You can see their pickup covers are plastic, and these are potted. So if you take the pickup out and turn it over, it is completely filled with I don't know if it's a wax or a resin or something.
I don't know either.
But it really helps to reduce feedback and sympathetic vibration and feedback coming through your pickups, which I don't usually have a lot of problem with. But
you don't as much with more modern pickups.
With more modern pickups and with the current gear. But back in the old days when we were going wide open on a punk rock stage with everything turned up to 11,
it really did.
These original pickups helped tame that feedback. That
Bill Lawrence is also always an innovator. He designed a lot of pickups for Gibson and other people. But now these are they're not quite as hot as what most of the guitars we have are. Not that we like pickups overly hot, but I think this is about a 9 or so in the back and about a 7.5 in the rhythm. And they sound great. Yeah. But we don't use this guitar as much playing live because it doesn't drive the amp the same as the other ones. So instead of messing with the settings. Now this is though on a lot of Rifle songs recorded.
Right. Oh, it's on a lot of songs.
You've recorded a lot with this one, right?
Yeah.
And it's all original except for this barrel jack, which we also have a video of. I replaced that. Otherwise, this
is completely stock.
Yeah, and I did do I did polish the frets and stuff not too long ago, crowned them and etc. But I didn't have to do much to it. I've never had to do much to any of these guitars. Honestly, they just hold up. This guitar has been played quite a bit at shows and is definitely on some Rifle songs.
It's on a few Rifle songs, yeah.
The reason this came about is I was going to build a V for Jet, and I don't have at that time. Now I have a place. I didn't have a good way to finish a guitar, so I could build it. I knew that wasn't a problem, but I wasn't sure about finishing it. And I had gone somewhere and played one of these, and it played so great. And it's just an inexpensive Dean, you know, it's the basswood body, which I wanted a basswood body. I was trying to get like a, you know, an Eddie Van Halen kind of tone. So I wanted a basswood body with a maple neck, but I wanted it to be more of a Gibson style. I wanted it to be a V because I don't know, he just had to have a V.
V's are cool.
Yeah, yeah. So instead of me building it at the time, I got one of these and I just took everything out of it. And again, these are we have really good luck with GFS pickups. These are GFS, the crunchy pats, overwound. I think this one is actually hotter than it was supposed to be. I think it's a 19 or something. It was really hot.
It's a really crunchy pickup.
Yeah, yeah. And this guitar just growls. It sounds great.
I like to take this out to shows a lot because it really growls.
It has a great live tone.
Got a good live tone, and its flashing looks cool on stage.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, it has your face.
Has my face
right there. You know.
You can see that.
But I can't say enough about these. Now, obviously, you know, it came with inexpensive pickups and inexpensive potentiators, which I'm not against necessarily. Potentiometers. Sorry. Yeah. We can edit that. But which I'm not necessarily always against. Trust me. You know, depending on what you want to do with them, the only difference in a cheap one and an expensive one, for the most part, is the quality control and dust that can be in there. So if you clean a cheap one and it works, it works. But I don't even remember what I put in this. But I think I changed everything.
I don't know what you put in there, but it sounds fine.
Yeah, it works. It works. It works great. And I had to change the jack from the original. Oh, the jack that came with it was crap. That was one thing, and I changed that immediately. It's a Switchcraft. I'll put a link to that. I always get Switchcraft, honestly. I mean, if you're going to replace something, you'll never have to replace it again. And I don't remember if this came with the Grovers or if I put them on. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't. But I know that we have Grovers on this.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't remember if it came with it. They may have come with it. They're not locking or anything, but they work fine. It stays in tune great.
Yeah, I don't have locking tuners on any of my guitars, and I never have a problem.
We seldom have troubles like that. So anyway, this is a great guitar. It's pretty lightweight. It's taken a beating for sure, and
it's knocked over a few cymbal stands.
Oh yeah, yeah. And again, it has a great tone. It has the tone you would expect out of a V.
Yeah, it's pure rock and roll.
This is Epiphone Les Paul Standard 2005.
This is the Burst 2005 October, made in China.
Handmade in China.
Handmade in China. This is from one of the factories where they make the higher end versions of their Gibson products.
Yeah.
So this was actually hand built in China.
We actually got this from a friend of ours, Dale, and he buys and sells a lot of Les Pauls. And this was, even though it's from 2005, it was brand new. It had never been touched. Somebody that worked at the Gibson factory won it, and had never played it or anything. It still had all the plastic on it. So basically, a new guitar. And let me say, when we first got this, when Jet first got this, you know, we thought we were just going to have to probably replace everything. I thought, well, it's going to be great. We're going to mod this thing, because I thought what was going to come with it was going to be crap. Other than working the nut, which I even have to do with new Gibsons when people bring me Gibsons, the nut, they never work their nuts well. So I had to reslot the nut a little bit and set it up. I haven't done a thing with this. I might have replaced this switch. No, I didn't. I think I just fixed it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have had to do nothing, and these are the factory pickups, and they sound great.
It sounds awesome. It's brilliant. I love this guitar. Yeah.
And just, we've done nothing. It has a beautiful top, and I know that is a veneer top. With it, you know, it has the same look. It still has the full maple cap. When I've been in there, I can't say enough for the quality of these Epiphones.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, at least the ones that you have. They're great.
Yeah, they are. I have never been let down by the quality or the finish
or the sound.
The sound, everything has been perfect, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, as things are needed, you know, we'll replace them. But so far, they've been great, and we haven't even thought to replace pickups or anything. They sound fantastic.
The only modification I make is a lot of my guitars I'll put on these
speed knobs.
Speed knobs.
Yeah.
feel like I have more positive control on these big knobs for those very, very rare times when I actually use one of the knobs.
Yeah,
Most of
knobs are overrated.
Most of the time, if I'm turning a knob, it's just to make sure that everything is turned all the way up.
Which is why I prefer not to have any if I could. You know, I guess I could.
Well, they already got them on there, so I put the cool knobs on.
Yeah, it looks right. They look right. All right.
Yeah, this is actually, this and the next guitar coming up have sort of moved into my #1 spot over the last couple of years. This is the other one, which is a
2010? 2010?
I can tell you, I wrote it down.
I think it's a 2010.
Black Paul 2010.
Yeah.
Also made in the same factory in China, hand assembled.
This finish, I mean, I don't know if it shows up there, but it is like piano black.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just gorgeous. I mean,
love
you
it.
could just, it looks like you're just looking into an inkwell.
Brilliant. Once again, everything on it, other than the knobs and this,
Is that the switch I changed?
I think so. Feel it because it feels new.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a bit, yeah.
This is the new switch. So,
Yeah.
other than that switch and these plastic knobs, everything on here is stock from the factory.
Yep.
Um,
And this one we did. This was a used guitar. It hadn't been used too badly. I did.
Yeah.
I did some fret work on it, and of course, they all have to have the nut worked. I mean, every single Les
yeah.
Paul.
He loves working the nut.
Anyway, it plays great.
It plays
and these come with the Grovers, the same Grovers that I either put on the V or were already there, which I can't remember. That's could be age, could
Love
be
this.
stress.
Love this color. Love the feel. Plays guitar all the time. I love it.
And again, I we go by what sounds good. We have felt no inclination to change the pickups or anything. It just sounds fantastic. If this is well worth, if you want a good guitar, a rock and roll guitar that you don't have to do anything with and you don't have to spend a fortune on, I don't know what's a new, I don't know what a new standard is, probably around 700 or something maybe.
I haven't priced one.
7 or 8, but you can pick used ones up, for probably in the $400 range or
I think
so.
I paid $500 for this.
Sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway,
400 or 500.
wonderful guitars, and you can get like 2 or 3 of them for the price of a Gibson that doesn't have the quality often. And then the next Les Paul variety.
It's a nice studio with some nice Seymour Duncan.
Right. This is a JB in the back and a 59 in the rhythm. And this guitar I got from a great friend of mine, Alyssa. And the problem with this is, among other things, of course, it was, this is a Korean-made Epiphone.
Yeah.
It's a studio. I like it because it has the trapezoid markers instead of the dots like a lot of the studios did. But the electronics were shot. It was stored next to a saltwater fish tank. So I replaced literally everything. The only thing I used is the body and the neck. Even you can, I don't know if it shows it. There's a lot of pitting from that. But the Seymour Duncans in this they just sing. They sound fantastic. I love this guitar. CTS pots, and it's lighter, than the standards. But it still sounds really nice. The neck plays great. I put a bone nut on it. The nut was falling apart.
But he loves working the nut.
I do. I did like the patina though, so I kept all the things like when I put these, and they're not real Kluson. They're Kluson-esque. They look like Kluson tuners, but they're a little more green, which is why I wanted to get them. But I kept the original rings because they just look. The patina looks so cool. But these are fantastic tuners. I did get those on Amazon. If I can find a link to what they were, I'll put it down there. These have been great. I love this guitar. I actually got this guitar because I wanted a Les Paul. Because I had an Ibanez Les Paul when I was a kid, and I got rid of it, and I wish I never would have. But of course, Jet plays it way more than me, and it's on at least 1 or 2 Rifle songs. It has a great solo tone for doing solos.
It does.
This JB is just a wonderful pickup.
Yeah, this is a really great sounding guitar and really easy playing guitar. I don't know how a bass player became so adept at setting up guitars, but he does a great
play them
job.
very well.
I haven't taken any of my guitars to a luthier or a music shop for years and years because I can just hand it to Sean and he sets it up, fixes it up.
Or
for
just
me.
leave it here.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
understand.
just
I
leave
can't
it
help
up.
myself. I'll
Yep.
have to fix it. Yeah. So anyway, it's a good guitar.
Excellent guitar, I love it.
Yeah, very. Again,
Of course, I love all these guitars because if I didn't, they wouldn't be sitting here being played when we record or play shows. They'd be somewhere else. I don't know, a dump.
this is something that I put together during quarantine. I built 2 basses and I built this guitar for Jet. And this is what we call the SP for Strat Paul. Because this is a Mexican Strat body. I do believe it's an alder body. Gibson pickups. I think they're just burst buckers. They're out of someone's Les Paul that a friend of mine that I know. This is blocked. It's a Fender, a Mexican Fender Mexican bridge.
Stock
Yeah, but
bridge.
I blocked it. But we have this Vandalay neck on it, of course, which is actually it's a Mighty Mite neck. I put the Vandalay on the headstock and a nice rifle sticker. It's not really a sticker. I don't know what you call those thingies.
Oh, it's a vinyl transfer.
Yeah. But anyway, this
It's a
is
sticker.
So I made this a 24 3/4 inch scale, a Gibson scale, on a Strat. So instead of the 25.5. So I had to do some work on the bridge, put some flat screws so I could intonate it and actually make the bridge longer. Again, it's blocked off. I mean, Jet doesn't use a tremolo or a whammy or anything really. So anyway, I really like this guitar. It sounds really good. It has a unique tone.
It has a unique tone and it's fun to play. It gives you a little different inspiration, a little different feeling when you pick it up and start playing it. So
The Gibson pickups sound great, and I just put the Switchcraft switch down here, and these are 2 volumes, 1 volume for each pickup. I think that's to that. I think I should know. I wired it, but
well, like I said, my the only time I usually hit the volume or tone volumes is to make sure they're all the way up.
yeah, I know I didn't put a tone circuit in this like my bass, and I put these are actually Cork tuners off a Cork guitar, but they've been great tuners. We actually we've had those tuners around for a while.
These tuners have been on a couple of different guitars that we've used. Yeah.
Yeah, they have. So anyway, I love this thing. It's 24 3/4 inch scale Strat Gibson-y thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a Super Strat. It doesn't sound like a Gibson.
No.
It sounds like the SP. Very playable.
It's got that Vandalay sound.
And yes, you can only get that right here.
Limited edition.
Right here in the
guitar.
Rifle Studio. The only place you can get the Vandalay sound. Alright, so the next guitar, surprisingly, is on quite a few Rifle songs. Two or three, I think. This is a 1960 Silvertone. It's probably way out of tune.
Not in tune at all.
Yeah. 1960 Silvertone. My brother rescued this out of an attic in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Luzerne actually, which is where I'm from and where he's not from, but he moved there for a while, and it required a lot of work. I mean, it was in an attic for decades, so I had to glue it up where it had come apart, but somehow the neck has always stayed pretty straight.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do some work, on the bridge and all, but this thing, it plays great. It has such a special tone. It sounds really good. It projects really well. I believe Silvertone is not good about numbers and all, but considering it's a real arch top, it's not like a ply or anything. This is either made by Gibson or Epiphone. Probably by Epiphone is my guess on this. But I don't know for sure. Kay made some of their guitars. A lot of people did, but generally speaking, from what the research I found, if it's a real arch top, which this is a carved type arch, it was either Epiphone or Gibson. Probably that made it. But man, I mean, for something to survive in an attic for so long, and
then
be
you
able
end
to
up
be here now on on records and stuff, I don't know, just it makes me happy.
Yep.
I use pretty thin strings on it because I don't want to mess the neck up, although it's been fine. And of course, we tune a step down, so it's it doesn't have as much tension on it as it could, which is also good. But factory tuners, everything. I mean, I haven't done anything to it other than glue it up where it needed it. Jed is not known for fenders. I am. This is a 98, 99 Stratocaster, and it is on a surprising number of rifle records. We record with this a lot. He doesn't use the bar too much. I stuck it on there though. I do have that set. It's not floating. Used to keep it floating. It's hard to do that when tuned it so low. GFS rails, 15K, 10K, and 10K. I didn't go with a regular set. I wanted both these to be 10. Honestly, we probably use these two pickups the most on this thing. Hey, I don't know. You use it. I mean, I don't play it.
I use it for some rhythm guitar parts when I'm using a cleaner sound on certain songs.
It has a great clean sound.
And even a little more aggressive on a couple of songs.
Yeah.
If you listen on a couple of songs and you hear a tone that you think isn't quite a Gibson-y sound and more like a Strat sound, it's this. And
or the Vandalay, if you're not sure which it is.
If it's more of a, if you hear something that sounds more of a Strat sound, it's this.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the hell it is, it's probably the Vandalay.
Exactly. This is one of the few guitars that I bought new in my life, and it has been a great guitar. I do nothing to it. I set it up, and I change the pickups. That's it. I just love it. In my opinion, I love Fender quality, and the Mexican Fenders are great. Every bit as good as a USA Fender for the most part that I've seen. I mean, the quality is fantastic.
It changes my style a little bit when we're recording for Rifle. I'm usually pounding away on one of the Gibsons or one of the Epiphones, so you can pick this up, and it kind of changes your frame of reference, your mindset, help you come up with a different sort of part or a different kind of sound to help move things in different directions sonically for different songs.
And I have to admit, I wasn't super crazy over the pickups that came with it, so I was real happy to change these out. These are the GFS. They are hotter, they're overwound, but the thing with these is, of course, you don't get that 60 cycle hum because they are humbuckers, but because they're so small, they still retain a single coil sound. So they're still punchy and articulate, but yet they don't make noise.
So because they're single width, they're sampling a smaller length of string than the humbuckers do. So that does affect the tone a little bit.
They're not, and they're like the pickups that came with this seemed a little more muddy, which are actually really good for being distorted. And like the Fender USA pickups are really clear, and in the highs especially. And this is just a good in between. It picks up all the frequencies.
Yeah.
All the frequencies.
This makes its debut on an album that's coming out in the next 6 to 10 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Little project that we've been calling Prog-ject, where we just went full on
prog rock,
full on art rock.
Yeah.
And made no concessions at all to things like whether we could play it live or not.
Right. Matter of fact,
it needs to be fixed.
Sure does.
So we just went full on, prog.
Here's fixed.
Thanks, man. He's a good guitar tech.
I'm good.
He's good at this sort of thing. So we just went full on.
I know how to make
prog,
them go.
Started making songs, including different instruments. There's some more keyboards in it. There's things.
We play different instruments.
There's things like where he plays the guitar.
I know, and he plays the bass.
Play the bass.
We both play drums on it.
Yeah, both play drums on it.
Not simultaneously. No.
That we know of. But yeah, this is your standard shred machine.
It is. And these Kramers are wonderful. Now we got it's just a special model because it doesn't have the locking system. But I hate those. He doesn't use them. I do have this set, so you can dive with it, but we don't use it very much. So, I mean, for such an inexpensive guitar, this thing I literally have done nothing to it.
It does not feel like a cheap guitar. It feels like a guitar that would cost many hundreds of dollars. And
it has a mahogany body and a maple neck. I can't say enough. If you're on a budget and you want a guitar that's going to scream, this is it.
Yep.
A lot of people talked about the tuning machines, which are okay, not staying in tune. That was the biggest complaint I've heard about this guitar. And what I did, and it took me 2 seconds. When I restrung this, I switched the last 3, and I changed the rotation of the way I put them onto the pin, and it lined everything up. And of course I lubed the nut really well.
Loves
go
that
ahead.
work.
And honestly though, just changing that, just stringing it in the opposite direction, straightened everything up, and we have had no tuning issues whatsoever. It stays in tune perfectly. And I thought again might have to replace the pickup. I knew I wasn't worried about the bridge because I knew how we were going to use it. We were just going to block it, which I did. But I tell you what, this is an Epiphone pickup. It's an overwound PAF, and this thing sounds fantastic. I mean, I'm not changing it. It sounds great.
Thanks for watching us talk about guitars. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you'll click like and subscribe, and click that bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos come out. And remember, listen to Rifle every day.